It has sometimes global peacemaking. On Insight today, we will revisit the challenge of peace and conflict resolution in Nigeria. And my guest is Abuja. He also heard Babatunde. It's a pleasure to have you. Just typing in to send 11 or 2222 send 11 or 2222. The program tempted to play accurate meaning
between two parties. Between two parties, between two groups, we will have conflict in the, but eventually it's to go into half development. This is very important. It's very important.
It's about hypocritical when it comes to the.
It's very important.
It's about hypocritical when it comes to the idea of peace. It's about hypocritical when it comes to the idea of peace, genuine peace and conflict resolution. Idea of peace, genuine peace and conflict resolution.
What? Even since 1999.
Genuine peace and conflict resolution.
What? Even since 1999, with this. So when we look at those things we have lost, since let me say since 2009, when with these challenges of violence. So together and take conflict resolution, conflict management, very important in our nation building. Very important in our nation building. It is very important.
Nation.
Diversity, delegates, the ethnicity, diversity in Nigeria, let alone the religion, let alone in terms of coloration, in terms of our views, our way. Instead of us like I said. So let us and maintaining it, and this is it's part of the.
All right, if you're just joining, so Olalekan Babatunde, a fellow of Nigeria's Institute for Peace and Conflict Resolution in Abuja. Yes, you can join the conversation at Citizen FM 90.
When they look at that by giving them, when they look at that by giving them peanuts, by giving them money, by giving them to their daily means, for example, and whenever you ask the person there's a high level of illiteracy, there's a high level of poverty. So all these three realities of our lives, they are being to disrupt the politics. In the just concluded that and from all our position too, that we address that. We don't allow that in our national politics.
Doctor, let's look at national values over the years.
Question, an open questions you have just asked that national values. What are values?
Exactly.
That there to our earth. What are those our religious faiths? Then we derive that from over the years from our historical background, from our traditions, our customs and traditions. So in Nigeria, that Nigeria love is one of the our values, that we love one another with tolerance. We tolerate one another. We for business, for friendship, for so many promote and there for the children to pass on, respect the others, ethnic, obey obligations. Societies are being questioned. And these are some of those things that are really giving us some challenges for growth and development. So we need to address all those things that will return to these these values that will build the society. And the government has been doing a lot in that regard. The promotion of religious education, history.
And how did we end up years ago?
Because of their own personal interest over the national. It is me, greedy. Education is very important. Again, and you listen, you have exposure, and so on. I'm just giving that's showing there. The children too will be aloof. Will be doing to their, will follow to their peers or people from outside copy the erosion of our moral values. Yes, actually, in the school, it is not about money. It is not money. Money doesn't develop racism to the country. It is first thing. That
It's still in. I'm Dr. Olalekan Babatunde, fellow of Nigeria. Going forward with conflict of state power, some people. Which of these would you see?
in the peace and conflict resolution realm, we call it kinetic and non-kinetic approaches. The kinetic is power approach, whereby you use peace building, you use the conflict management strategies, to manage this conflict. So all the blend of the conflict of into play. That's why we have mind. You begin to change to conflict to one another. So they begin to change the behavior for good things, to develop, to embrace peace, to have forgiveness, to go into reconciliation, to love it presently in the country. The military are the aspect of native. The more because people who gave on Sunday to talk. Let us talk. Bring it, but all of us collective mind of people that.
Oh, okay, Doctor. I know that you spoke a little bit in tradition in conflicts.
There's no culture that is ingrained in violence or that of shoot. Because in the past, themselves they do exchanges, and with so many culture. Because a culture we say is as this culture is in technology, to enhance, our the promotion of our
history as prevention of
conflicts. We need kind of national reflection in literature, in festival. How are we going to promote all these things? They will make meaning. Because as they stand on their own, they are good. They have values of their own. To improve personal love, peace. Everything is personal. The inner peace you have within yourself is very, very important for any promotion of. If you want to love another, then when you love another as you love yourself, definitely in your environment, in whatever you do, there will be peace. There will be harmony. So that kind of harmonious relationship is what this culture we have inherited. We begin to be enhanced. We're going to foster relationships across borders.
All right. It's still Insights on Citizen FM 93.7, and we are discussing peace and conflict resolution. Dr. Olalekan Babatunde, a fellow of Nigeria's Institute for Peace and Conflict Resolution, is our guest. Insight will take a short break now, and when we return,
or confused, Women's Corner is waiting just for you. Your voice reaching high and making an impact. Women's Corner, where knowledge can fly. Join us every Mondays and Wednesdays at 1 p.m. for inspiring stories and practical advice to reach all your glory.
Oh yeah, oh my people, make una come media. Bring am on top, make we talk am. For Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja, every Monday, go reach Thursday, and the time now 5:10, will be.
Retrospect is here to make up for the missed information. Retrospect is a complete package of all the major news headlines. 93.7 FM Abuja, every info.
We operate as a full-fledged paramilitaries. We are the Nigerian Security and with our world headquarters in Geneva.
Speak out. You are the voice of a new generation. And this is your...
Thank you so much, Buja, a fellow of Nigeria's
Thank you very much.
Perspective to the just socio-political, a just system.
Yes, it is a very critical aspect. Everyone is equal. No matter equality, and to achieve, can also veer for this. We created, examples too, even outside the country, even in Africa, that they are developing. They are not having this kind of socio-political environment. Everybody is aspiring, so definitely relationship across borders. Said all these are inevitable but they will be very, very low in the society. So the law enforcement will also be working, police and so forth. So in that environment, there will be peace.
All right, the numbers are the numbers are still open. You can make that call now to 2 calls trying to come in and cut in. Okay, maybe we should stick to the 0903 222979. Now, let's look at it. Would this help in reducing conflict in the society?
Yes, of course. When there is an enhanced political participation or political control, agitation for this, agitation for that will be, really minimized. Yes, when aware of their political so forth, when then wait in the institutional, environment.
Okay. Now let's look at other arms of government. What is the role of the judiciary, for example, in helping peace and conflict resolution?
Yes, that's what we are saying when there's this equality, when there's rule of law, because their role is to ensure that the constitution is adhered, adherence of the rule of law is taking place. Yes, when there is just and justice and fairness in the politics, definitely there is also, this arm of government will be an engine room for the promotion of peace. And we have seen it too in, for example, in the judgment, the here after the judgment to keep the temple, to promote peace, and to a larger extent, they have de-escalated, a lot of what could have been, that could have. And when this violence happens, with elections, for example, in the process of democracy, democratic governance, because everybody will have access, to justice, accountability. They ensure the transparency in everything, in the way of corruption and in the way of governance, and so on and so forth.
Okay, how can the legislator be more
really outlined there, also doing the oversight, in the country. So through their other functions in democratic dispensation, they are promoting peace and security in the country. They do conciliation, maybe is in terms of development. When all these things are done, things that ordinarily will have been, either intra or inter communities, they are ensuring all those things will not happen, and it is ingrained in the constitution for them to do. The laws that will also promote, like the local government and the local government, there is development. When people are able to have money, they're able to have all the machinery for agriculture, for farming, for education, definitely there will be peace. Yes.
Okay, Doctor, let me ask you this. How critical is access to information, and sometimes even timely provision of information, to the guarantee of peace in the society?
Yes, if I'm like I said in the beginning, if I'm ignorant, definitely I am susceptible to be used. But if I have information to promote peace, the information will be enlightened, they will be exposed. So if I have access to information, for example, if in a place I have access to how corruption is being perpetuated, and I bring it out, that is power. I want to, I'm trying to, not to spoil people, but to stop that practice. Access to information is very important. That's another aspect of this information. How information is power to peace. So in peace, it's very, very important for the information is very, very important to peace. But you must also, there are some information you keep confidential.
For security reasons.
Exactly. Yes, not at all to cause conflict again. So, but they are done, in a right channel. So, because if you are mediating between two parties now, you can't just give one information you get from one party A, manage all the variables very well.
Since we are talking about information, what is the place of the social media in facilitating peace these days? Because it's here with us and there's nothing we can do about it.
Yes, yeah, it's true. When information, social media, as far as, as they have said in the beginning, that conflict, it depends on the way you manage it. not to stumble into conflict, to violence, conflict, not to stumble into violence, to be physical. So also social media. Social media should be used to educate people. When we have programs, for example, you use it for awareness purposes, for people to be aware of their rights. It's an example of the way you are promoting peace through the social media. And everyone, most Nigerians now, and adults, they have access to this social media. They have this Android or iOS, system in their hands. You can watch it in the on telly. You can raising awareness, of government programs, for example. So, what is going on? You get information. So, social media should be used as a tool to promote peace. So,
how do we get our young boys and girls, the youth, for example, how do we get them to buy in to this policy, to this narrative of
that they should use it for peace, to promote peace in the country, not to disseminate, conflict, cases. Very, very important to be able to this time. The power in their hand can be used for the promotion of peace. We need to talk to them, to even adults, even beyond
and forward.
Immediately. That in the video, he committed suicide, of a scenario. And ideal. That is not promoting the youth to promote peace through the social media. They can form community, groups and begin to talk about what will enhance their relationship. Community change information quickly. The youth to do that. Many youths are doing such. Yes.
Interventions on Insight.
Thank you, sir.
And we hope that in future, if we have cause to bring you back, you will oblige us.
Of course, I will.
All right, you back, you will oblige us.
Of course, I will.
All right, that's our package on Insight. Today, my guest has been Dr. Olale.